Hey guys, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we have some news, some major news about the main event for UFC 200. Now, we all know what happened with the original main event. John Jones tested positive in a drug test. Him and Cormier, the fight's no longer happening. Daniel Cormier is now fighting Anderson Silva, and they had moved the Brock Lesnar-Mark Hunt fight to the main event. Well, late last night, the UFC made the move to make the women's bantamweight title fight between champion Miesha Tate and challenger Amanda Nunes the new main event for UFC 200. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is that the main event? That's probably one of the most not gonna say popular, but most uninterested fights on the main card Saturday night. Now, it's one of two things, in my opinion. I feel either they wanted a 5-round title fight to be the main event. That's the simple way to think about it. They wanted a 5-round fight. They wanted a title fight. Put the women's bantamweight title fight in the main event. Now you could say there's another 5-round title fight on the card, Edgar Aldo. Yeah, but that's an interim title. And if you're going to put a title fight as the main event and have other title fights on the card, then you might as well put the legitimate title fight in that main event slot. But here's my real thinking of why they're doing this. I feel it all has to do with Ronda Rousey. Here's my theory right here. Ronda Rousey is seen in the crowd at UFC 200 before the women's bantamweight title fight, and you see her maybe right at ringside or somewhere with Dana White. And after the fight is over, whoever wins, either Miesha Tate or Amanda Nunes, they get their interview in the octagon with Joe Rogan, and then in comes Ronda Rousey. The two have a stare down, and either Ronda says she's challenging for the title, or Dana White comes in or something and says, you know what, here's your next opponent, Ronda Rousey. That's what makes the most sense for them to have the women's bantamweight championship match as the main event. I would have just kept it with Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt because it's going to keep the butts in the seats. I mean, if you think about it, if it's the most uninterested fight on the card, people may change the channel. Maybe not change the channel because maybe change the channel away from the fight or start leaving the arena, the T-Mobile Arena, early because they don't care about the women's title fight. If Brock Lesnar Mark Hunt was the main event, everybody is going to stay to the end to see who wins, Brock Lesnar or Mark Hunt. But in the long run, I think putting the women's bantamweight title in the main event, even if Rousey's not going to be there, makes a little more sense because it builds. If Brock Lesnar wins, cool, Brock Lesnar wins. But you don't know what he's going to do next. You don't know if he's going to have another fight in the UFC or just go back to WWE. If Mark Hunt wins, cool, Mark Hunt wins. What? Is he finally becoming a contender for the heavyweight championship? See what I'm saying? There's a lot of unknowns with that fight and the future of what can happen after that fight. But with the women's title fight, it's all right, cool. This woman is now the champion. Where does she go now? People will be interested to see, who is her next challenger. But if any more news does come up on UFC 200 and the main event, we will bring it to you on Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, guys, comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, and subscribe here on YouTube.